Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. So, here we are today ladies and gentlemen with AEW Dynamite review. But before we do that ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about a few things. Number one, we have a new Twitter. More specifically, I have a new Twitter to promote the channel for all things AEW, WWE for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will leave a link in the description below. But not only that, I will leave an annotation in that corner right there for yourselves to go and check it out, and as well as that I will leave a link up there, and at the end of this video there'll be a link here to go and check out the most recent episode of the channel, which will be the NXT TakeOver in Your House review. But number two, no episode of the CWS. Today I have been not only very busy, but I've been a bit sick, so I do apologise about that, guys. I will have one up tomorrow, or later today, ladies and gentlemen. It might just be what we did a few weeks ago with rewatching a match from a previous episode of CWS. I don't entirely know about that, ladies and gentlemen. But to some news. So, Sean Ross Sapp has officially said that Becky Lynch is back at the Performance Center. So, bloody hell, we're getting Becky Lynch back. Yes, please. And also, SmackDown tonight. Normally I don't talk about WWE when it comes to my AEW reviews, but holy shit, Roman Reigns, Rey Mysterio in a Hell in a Cell match for the first time since 1998. Fucking hell. I know that the AEW viewership's been a bit down recently by going on to Friday nights for the NBA, obviously, but wow, a Hell in a Cell match before Hell in a Cell. Jesus Christ. But I'm obviously going to go and give it a check out. It's Roman Reigns versus Rey Mysterio. Hell yeah. But that's not only the bit of news, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations go out to Renee Pascal, Jon Moxley, Cody Rhodes and Brandy Rhodes for the birth of their baby girls. Congratulations to all four people I've mentioned. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday night, well, Saturday morning. You know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite. Let's do this. It's Friday night, ladies and gentlemen, Saturday morning for myself, and you know what that means. It's AEW Dynamite, and we are kicking things off with Jake Hager versus Warlord in the MMA fight. I believe it's 3 5-minute rounds with a 45-second rest period. We have Wardlow with Sean Spears taking on Jake Hager with Chris Jericho in their corners. So, let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm actually looking forward to this, I gotta admit. I'm not the biggest MMA fan, but I know Hager has an undefeated streak in MMA. So, hopefully, Hager will win this. But, let's find out. So, I will admit, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not a fan of MMA. I am a fan of MMA, but I don't follow it religiously like UFC or Bellator. But I do admit, this is actually quite a nice idea personally, I think. The ring looks pretty good, the cage looks really good. The introductions were done with respect, like a Bellator fight. Wardlow's record of 1-0 against Jake Hager was brought up. Jake Hager's 3-0 in MMA was brought up. They showed fights of Jake Hager's 3 MMA wins. Two by submission, 1 by decision, if I recall. But this looks really interesting, I think, personally. Now, do I think Hager's going to win this? I don't know. It's not a sanctioned Bellator fight. I don't believe it is. I think it's a fight sanctioned by AEW, but with obvious, with Bellator influences and MMA influences in this, to be fair. So far, not really too much ground and pound or too much striking or anything. They're just kind of feeling. It is 3 5-minute rounds with a 45-second rest period, which is the official rules. I could be wrong on that one, but let's see how it goes. So, first round's just happened, and I have to admit, I would actually give it to Warlord, even though he did illegally touch his foot on the cage to get an advantage with the Superman punch, which I believe is illegal. I could be wrong on that one. But I have to admit, I give the first one to Wardlow. Even though Hager got a few takedowns in and a few very good strikes involved and a few kicks, Wardlow was more aggressive and more, just more dominant personally. But again, so far it's not bad. It actually does look like they've taken some views from Bellator. Again, I could be wrong. I don't know. We're going to get into the second round in just a moment. But right now, very entertaining. Let's do this. Okay, so Hager wins with the head and arm choke to get the referee stoppage for the win. Um, to be honest, I would have to admit, if it did go to full 3 rounds, I would have actually given it to Warlow personally. But I mean, it's something different. Hager's definitely in the MMA cage. You know, he is 3-0. So going into this match, obviously, it is favoured more towards Hager. But I have to admit, you know, it was very, very different and very entertaining in this whole situation involved. And now we don't have a brawl with all the Pinnacle and Inner Circle members in the cage. But again, it's something different. It was entertaining. Again, I give the first round to Warlow, and if it wasn't for the head and arm choke in the second round, I would have given it to Warlow personally. But it was a good opener. I have to admit, it was different. Oh, MJF, my jerk off friend. Again, obviously, this is just the further of the feud, and again, it was entertaining. So let's see what our next situation is. So MJF comes in, Dean Malenko comes in to basically drag MJF off Jericho, and then MJF hits him. Sammy comes out to basically for the feud with him and MJF. I actually want to see MJF get the shit kicked into him by not by Frankie Kazarian. He's currently talking about the Elite. And also, I have to admit, I enjoy Frankie Kazarian's new gimmick, the Elite Deleter. I do enjoy that. But again, I really want to see Sammy kick the shit into MJF. Also, Eddie Kingston with the DMX reference. You know, good job, man. And also, Pentagon as Joker. Fuck yeah. So, we just had the handicap match with Men of the Year versus Darby Allin, and I have to admit, I kind of liked this. It was entertaining to a degree. Darby Allin using the zip tie on Ethan Page, I thought was very entertaining to get the advantage for a little bit. For a one-on-one segment, but end of the day, Eagles way, Eagles Edge gets the win for Men of the Year. Again, it was a good, entertaining handicap matchup. So next up, Cesar Bononi versus Orange Cassidy one-on-one. Looking forward to this one. I think this one's going to be an okay match. Obviously, we're going to have Orange Cassidy being Orange Cassidy, and I think Cesar Bononi's actually improved a little bit. So let's carry on with the show, shall we? So we just had Orange Cassidy versus Cesar Bononi. This was actually quite entertaining, I thought. Very funny with the women getting a bit of a makeover on Orange Cassidy, using spray tan and gelling his hair and putting him in Hollywood Hunk's jacket. I thought that was entertaining. But obviously, Orange Cassidy gets the win after punching 2 of the 3 members of the women, then punching Cesar for the win. I enjoyed the springboard swanton from the best friends as well, very entertaining. But I really enjoyed this. It was a fun little match just to entertain them. And also, we had Jungle Boy and Kenny Omega building up for their match next week on Saturday Night Dynamite, with Kenny Omega basically being like, come on, hit me. No, I'm not going to hit you. I'm going to wait until next week. Okay, fine. First one's free. So he gets ready, and then Omega just Michael Nakazawa blindsides him with the laptop, and then tries to beat him down. Jungle Boy gets the upper hand, and then they just run away and says, next week! So, looking for, that's next week. But, ladies and gentlemen, it is the Nightmare Factory taking on the Family, with QT Marshall and Aaron Silver taking on Cody Rhodes and a debuting Brock Anderson. Which Brock do you think I was about to talk about? So, what do I think about this coming up? Well, we'll see how it goes. Brock Anderson, he has some very big shoes to fill, obviously, being the son of Arn Anderson, but I'm going to lay judgment until after the match, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's get to said match. So, our match, the tag team match with Aaron Solo, I do apologise about that, guys, and QT Marshall taking on Brock Anderson and Cody Rhodes. Bit of a slip up on Brock's part, but to be honest, I have to be fair, shows a lot of potential. I have to admit that. Given a few years, and I think, yeah, he'll be very, very talented personally. Brock Anderson gets the win after a quick roll-up for the 1-2-3 on Aaron Solo, but at the same time, it was still a good matchup. Looking forward to the South Beach strap match happening on Beach Blast in 2 weeks' time. I have to admit, looking forward to that. Then we had Mr. Jake the Snake Roberts and Lance Archer talking about how the forbidden doors are open and that means all the gold, and this man doesn't want to wait. He's a tiger waiting to pounce. So yeah, very interesting. And then Andrade El Idolo interviews with Jim Ross talking about the heritage, and I do like the touch of the subtitles as well, seeing that Andrade hasn't really cut that many promos in English. It was nice that he was switching between English and Spanish, and the subtitles were there to help people understand what he was saying at some points, even though he was mic'd as well. But he also says that himself and Vicky Guerrero are, well, they're wrestling royalty. He's a third generation superstar. She was brought into the business with Eddie Guerrero, and yet they have a surprise, and he's looking to go for the TNT title and the AEW title. And I have to admit, I can't wait to see Andrade El Idolo in the ring. But this surprise, I don't know what it could be. I mean, it could be a lot of things, to be honest, ladies and gentlemen, and I can't wait to see that. So, next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Julia Hart taking on Penelope Ford. I'm looking forward to this one. Obviously, Kip is not in Penelope's corner, but the Varsity Blondes are in Julia's corner. So, we'll see how that works into the match. Hopefully, it won't. But, let's see, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue watching AEW Dynamite. So we just had Adam Hangman Page and the Dark Order talking about the matchup from last week, talking about Kenny Omega, the matchup for next week, and talking about how it will affect him. Completely blows off the question, brings up John Silver being able to wrestle in a few weeks, bringing up 10 getting the win last week, 5 having a new jacket, and saying that 10 put on Eva Uno put on a great showing last week and should be celebrated for that, which is awesome. And then we have Penelope Ford and Julia Hart. It was a good match. I didn't see the majority of it because it went cut out of the picture-in-picture. Thanks, AEW. But it was an okay match. Penelope gets the win with the guillotine choke at the end, holds it on for a little bit. Then Mero comes into the ring. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a video as well that I bought a couple of weeks ago now. I think it was about a month ago or so. How AEW should have booked the TNT title and the Women's Championships. I'm just going to put that video around there and just let you guys watch it and make your own opinion on that video. So, ladies and gentlemen, we had Britt Baker talking about whoever, Vicky Guerrero coming out talking about Nyla Rose, so we're going to get that match coming up. It is Britt Baker and Rebel versus Nyla Rose and Vicky Guerrero next Wednesday, June 30th. Here's my prediction. Vicky Guerrero is not going to wrestle. That's my opinion. Next up, Mero versus Brian Pillman Jr. for the TNT title on June 30th. I'm looking forward to that one, I have to admit. Back on Wednesdays, thank God. Sammy Guevara and MJF on June 30th. Finally, we're going to get this matchup. I am looking forward to that one, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be a fun matchup. What is our next match? I'm just waiting to find out what it is. And obviously, in a few days' time, ladies and gentlemen, it will be Kenny Omega and Jungle Boy one-on-one for the AEW Championship. I am very happy that AEW Dynamite is returning to Wednesday nights on June 30th. Very happy about that. But guys, let's get to our main event. It is the trios matchup between the Good Brothers and Matt Jackson taking on Frankie Kazarian, Eddie Kingston, and Penta El Zero Mero. Also, Hangman Page versus Powerhouse Hobbs is happening on Saturday night's Dynamite. So, let's get to our main event. So, we had a promo from Jade Cargill and her manager. It was entertaining, I will admit that one. And then, it wasn't really said, talked about Rampage and her being on the show for Rampage, so looking forward to that. Then we had the trios match. It was entertaining, I have to admit. Everybody got their stuff in. It was entertaining, but the Young Bucks get the win, obviously. Well, Carl Anderson gets the win after Matt Jackson gets involved. It was a really good matchup until then. So yeah, it was one of those things, ladies and gentlemen. But it was it was good. Frankie looked great. Penta looked awesome. Eddie didn't really get that much offense in, to be fair, and the Good Brothers are looking entertaining as all hell, and they are going back to New Japan for the Tag Team Thunder Turmoil, or whatever it's called, for New Japan's Tag Team Tournament. So, what did I think of AEW Dynamite on a whole? Very entertaining, I have to admit that one. It was a well-paced show. The first matchup was different, and I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was good, but it needed to be MMA rules fully, not a mixture of both. But it was still entertaining, and we get we get Sammy Guevara versus MJF coming up on June 30th. I'm looking forward to that one. All the matches were good. The only match I didn't like to a point was Julia Hart versus Penelope Ford, but given a little bit more time, I think that would have, given us watching the match a bit more, that would have been a good match. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching AEW Dynamite Week 23 review. I will see you next week. I'll see you later on today for the quick CWS episode, which will be a classic match rewatching, and I will see you for Hell in a Cell on Sunday. So, I will see you then, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, TTFN, ta-ta for now. Also, please check out the Twitter up here, do apologise, and I will have the videos that I want to link in here and in the description below. So, like I say, TTFN, ta-ta for now.